All right, three, two, one. Hey, everybody. Harry Welchel here. Today I have Filipe Goncalves, and we're going to be talking about how Filipe went from 0 to 25,000 in sales in his first 71 days working on this.
Yeah, it was a short time. It was what was maybe 70 days, right? Maybe
Some, uh, some,
yeah, 65, 70 because last few days didn't have any sales. So
all right, cool. So before we get too farther into that, why don't you, Filipe, introduce yourself to everybody a little bit about you and what you do?
right, so myself, I'm all the way from Portugal, and I've been online since 2015 with 4 years of pretty much struggle. And when I decided to become a coach, I struggled for another 8, 9 months. When I say struggle, I say put in the work, the real work, hours and money. And finally, a couple of months ago, not even 3 months, a couple of months, um, when I found you is when we kind of went through different angles, and I was able to figure out exactly what were the missing puzzle pieces. And today, what I do online is I help business owners to increase the revenue predictably inside 90 days through a specific concept, which is the mirroring. And I'm fascinated about that concept. And I was able somehow, I don't know exactly how that happened, but I think me and you were talking about the mirroring, and somehow we ended up putting that statement initially for high ticket sales reps. But then through the process and evolution of me as a coach, Harry, what happened was suddenly I'm not working just with salespeople. I'm working with coaches. I'm working with agency owners. I'm working with insurance agents, and I'm working with business owners. And then I realized that for the last 4 or 5 weeks, I have this broad of people that deal with high ticket sales services, and they all learn the mirroring concept. And that's what I did today, most of my time.
Awesome.
Very short. That's it.
That's awesome. So where did you, actually, let's say this. So what we talked about this stuff before, maybe a month ago, we talked about your first month. I think you did a
Right.
little less than 6 grand in sales.
Right.
Okay. So for those who kind of want to hear more about the early stages of that story, of your story, how you did things, go back and take a look at that. And
Right.
what we're going to do today is kind of talk a little bit more about what's been going on recently since then. So um, let me ask you this, like, where did you get up this idea of buyer mirroring? Is it something that you kind of pulled from different things together? Is it something that you saw in a past job, past career?
Yeah. Yeah. It's something that similar I learned through public speaking and how to have the audience communicating and interacting with you. And one of the skills that we learn through experience and obviously through coaching is, how can I have 100 people kind of mirroring me when we want to create certain type of reactions, a certain type of outcome out of the speech and the presentation. So then I move that into, sales, which is in the world of negotiation, it's known. It's not something new, but in the broader world of sales, not many people speak about. And I think this is one of the key things that people kind of are attracted to. How does that really work, the mirroring? So yeah.
And so is it that you as the salesperson are looking to mirror the buyer, or is it that you are trying to get the buyer to mirror you, or is it both?
So it's less on body language and how you look and how you say things. Is more on the words you use. So basically, you kind of mirror the words, not really, how you act physically. It's more the words, and that works very well through texting, voice call, or a call like this that you see the other person. And yes, you mirror the other person's words. So that allows the other person to kind of rethink what they said and go deeper and start explaining themselves. And as they explain themselves, they open more of themselves and their situation. And because they're being heard, in other words, we keep on mirroring, they speak more and more. And then they naturally release and drop the barriers. And now they somehow like you. because you're listening to them, and no one listens to no one in today's world, you know that. So because of that, and they keep on explaining, and they feel the other person is listening because you just keep on mirroring back the same words. I mean, it's powerful. It just works so well. It works. So that's what I focus on, teaching my clients how to use that skill very well, not just on a sales call, but from the entire process, from the very beginning.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. And you're basically building a bunch of rapport. You're getting them to open up, and yeah, yeah, I like it. I dig it. That's awesome. So, we talked a few weeks ago kind of about your early wins and stuff. Can you just share maybe, have there been any things, maybe like two or three things that have been really helpful since we last spoke, or things that either surprised you or just really have been impactful in the continued success you've been seeing?
I think the main, and I felt with myself, and is more you put in the work, not just random work, the work that more you replicate the tasks that work for you. And I must say, those I learned with you. So more you repeat and replicate those same tasks, what happens is you start having a wave of data. And that data is very powerful. It's truly powerful. And this is how naturally you go with the wave in terms of how you see yourself as a coach, and who exactly is the person that you are ready to help as your client. So what happened was I was strict to one thing, and then once I finally got that breakthrough and we spoke that first interview, I was still strict to that. But as I'm putting the hours, and on prospecting and listening the feedback, what happened was naturally the most important thing is that we are not strict. We have to be adaptable to what's happening, because what's happening is very accurate. If comes from the market. So as I'm receiving that data, Harry, what happened is I'm adapting to what I'm listening and processing. And certainly I'm shifting gradually without even noticing from salespeople to business owners. And this shifting is happening just as a consequence of the direct feedback I'm having from the market. And this is a very important skill, I believe, because the market will always tell you or give you the right direction. And if I'm still stuck on that, what I thought was the niche, most probably that exponential growth that happened the last 8 weeks roughly would not happen. So I would say that was the main thing, to be aware of the data, the feedback you're getting from the market, and be open to adapt to it and rearrange yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way I would say it, it's like, recognize when you first set out to do something, your niche is a hypothesis, right? You're
Correct.
like a scientist. But then when
Correct.
you go out into the marketplace and you're talking to people, the people that resonate with you, that are having the conversations, that keep coming back to you and like chatting with you, like, why do they want to talk to me? These are the people that are your actual niche. And, normally we think about like professional traits, demographics, things like that as like the niche definition things.
Right.
But there might be like more things that are like personality based, psychographic, that like you're tapping into now, that is cross-cutting, business owners, agency owners, things like that. Yeah. And you're being receptive to that, which is cool.
100%. And that's what happened, honestly. What the main difference between that, our first talk, and now is literally the gradual shifting of myself within the market.
I like it. Has anything else come from that? Do you feel like it's easier to sell people? Have you changed your pricing as you shift the niche?
I did change my pricing. And obviously, as you work with more people, you deal with different situations. Not just people you're prospecting to, but as well your own clients. As you work with them, and you kind of, what you thought would work maybe does not work that well, but this new angle works perfectly. So you're shifting yourself into that direction. And now one client has success. And now the second client has success. And of course, once you feel that, once what you thought was you thought well, you were a good coach, but now you actually know you are a good coach because a very high percentage of your clients are having success. So obviously you gain confidence, you go again with a lot more, how do I say this, with your vibe and your aura is a lot higher within the marketplace, the way you type things, how you say things, how you on the phone, on the call. So obviously that naturally grows into a higher price because you know what works now is proven, is tested, your clients having success. You know that's why I actually changed my statement. I believe based on not just my knowledge, but my experience working with clients, Harry, I believe that if he's a business owner and if he's around service related and if he's around high ticket offer, I believe inside 90 days, predictably, I can bring that revenue up. Not just a belief like esoteric thing, but proven because other clients have done and the things just getting better and better. So
Nice, nice. So yeah, like why don't we talk more about that? Like, have you had any cool client wins, any
yeah.
success stories that you're comfortable sharing a little bit about?
Yeah, I had one agency owner. He works in the insurance industry and he helps insurance agencies to bring potential clients through lead generation models, through Facebook funnels. And he was not able to really understand how to reach out to those insurance agents owners and how to come across as credible with a position of authority. And he's 19 years old. So we
Wow.
did set up things the right way. And he was able, within 3 weeks, he closed his first, big contract. It was like $7,500 contract for 3 months of service. And now he closed more. So it was not just a fluke, lucky. He really knows what he's doing now. And that's a cool thing, Harry, because you put in a lot of work to make sure they start well, right? They set up the things well, like you did with me. But then the cool thing is like once they win, they kind of want to stay a little bit on themselves as well, right? They want to test little things like they think they can add on to their own, what the structure. And we kind of coach them now, but more like on a longer distance. Does that make sense? What I'm saying not on everyday one-on-one thing. So now
It's less on the tactics, more like strategy.
yes, and on a mindset and on a different angles here and there, but not really on a set up the entire puzzle because that's done already. So then they can just replicate and tweak it and test it, and we keep monitoring that without really, really staying on top. And that allows you to now gain more space and time for a new client that needs to go through that first process. So it's happening with Alex. It's basically I speak with him once a week, maybe, right? But like speaking like on a call, and basically it's like question here and there, just tweaking here and there, new trial here and there, which is good. Which is now he's happy. He got the skill, and he knows how to use for himself in his business, right? But now he wants to just keep on doing, and now I have the time for acquire a new client, which is that's so. This is really cool. This other client I had was a coach actually that works with procrastination, helps other people with procrastination, and this is actually very difficult because in order for someone to make a decision on a call, right? Just think about it, Harry. Like you have to overcome the different objections and truly show that I'm going to help you, but he on top of that he has to flick that brain in a way that you can. Procrastination is the opposite of making a decision now, right? So so we have been working really hard on mirroring. So for example. With him, Rodrigo took me a lot longer, not really on the set up the process, but more on the mirroring in a certain level where we have to unblock the procrastination. I mean, they can see you can help, but the problem is not you anymore. The problem is actually themselves and their own, procrastination kind of mindset. You have to unblock that thing. So that was a good. I have another one. Works in the fitness industry. So yeah, several different stories. It's fun. And I believe throughout this month, November, I think, 2 or 3 more. I will put another stories.
That's awesome. And so, have you done client interviews with these folks? Any of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have done client interviews with them?
Yeah. Yeah,
What was that
man,
process like?
I think it's funny. I think in terms of a marketing tool is phenomenal because people, those that out there that may be looking at you or looking at me, one, it will resonate easier, and two, they understand these interviews are very much of a coffee table type of conversation, and we both are happy, right? So that energy is present in the interview. The client is happy because he acquired a client, which never happened in his life, and the coach is happy because it was part of that process, right? So the cool thing about being a coach here is that this person now you shift this person's life forever,
Permanently.
like forever. And this is so powerful, man. This is really good. And these success stories interviews, the people can see that, the coach is smiling, the client is smiling. It's just a raw conversation with a couple of setup questions, and I enjoy it, they enjoy it, and the people that can be potential clients in the future, they enjoy that stuff because they say, man, look at this, he's actually, no, they are so happy and I'm struggling here. This is totally the opposite. So yeah, it's I like it, I really do like it.
Do you have you noticed any prospects mentioning them yet on calls, or you telling you
Yeah.
about ones they watched or anything like that?
Yeah. I'm a great student, so I follow what my coach does in sales. So I leverage those little angles. See, when we go into a strategy session or call, we prepare that so they see
Well,
it. They're
it's
like,
just I don't know if it surprised you, but it just surprises me still to this day that sometimes people watch, like a 45-minute, hour-long
yeah,
interview, and the content is good. It's just like, yeah, it's just amazing that people have focus and attention for things that they think are really relevant to them and relevant to painful problems
correct,
that they have, right?
correct. I think you hit the right angle for the things they really give value to or importance to. They put in the time to learn.
That's awesome. What else? Any other kind of interesting takeaways or wins or things that have been really important to your continued
Yeah,
success?
I will tell you this, Harry, as your client, as a coach as well. For people that maybe will listen to this interview, right? I think this is extremely important. Once someone makes the decision to hire a coach, whoever that be, is because two things happen. One, the person realized that that coach has the knowledge, the skills, the experience, the background to help, right? And two, the person resonates with that coach. So those things are in place. Now the person makes a decision to really follow, to really hire, you know, you, me, someone else, whatever, on different niches. Once that happen, it's super important that they truly follow. Like, there's no gray area. It's black and white. They truly follow what the coach is saying, because that thing works. Not just for the coach himself, but for his clients, and not just one, two, but three, four, five, whatever. I mean, as long as, because in your case you have many of them. So the big thing I believe that will allow a new client to become a coach or a successful business owner in terms of revenue. It's all about revenue, and then obviously help equals to revenue, is to really follow what he or she has been told and not really adapt the formula, tweak the formula. This is so powerful. And the reason I'm saying this, because the funny thing is we see this in different communities, right? And it come up with new things, but that thing was never within the formula. It was never present. But for some reason, they come up with this because maybe they saw the new YouTube video or some other influencer, right? And I feel as well through my own clients. And then a cool thing is, like, when I see them try different things that is not in the formula, I don't say anything, because people don't learn through listening. People don't learn through feeling. That's how people learn. So let them try, 3, 4, 5 days. On the next call, we're going to call. I say, okay, so what was the result with that? Oh, not really. Nothing happens. It's just a way. And they say, oh, I'm sorry, Philip, you're right. Let me just, keep doing what works. And it's so powerful, man. I think this is a big thing. Like, don't really reinvent things. If you hire a coach, unless you're on your own, reinvent whatever you want. But if you hire a coach and you see this guy or this girl has the knowledge and has the formula that works, just replicate as close as possible to him or her, and it will work for you.
It's an interesting
Crazy.
insight because I think one thing I was really impressed with you when you came in is like, you were doing what I was teaching, and when things weren't working immediately, here or there, little things and stuff, rather than getting psyched out, losing your cool, right?
Yeah.
And going and like trying all these different things. You're just like, hey, I'm doing it. It's not working. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, you just were so cool and calm about it. And it was so easy
Yeah.
to help you and fix things and
Yeah.
like get you the results because you didn't, I don't know. It sounds so simple to do that, but I think it's rare. It's a valuable thing that you're able to do that.
Well, I remember how I said, listen, I'm going to follow exactly what you tell me. If you say walk around, handstanding, I will be walking around handstanding, as long as I understand what's behind. But yeah,
Yeah.
and again, people really somehow try things on their own. It's unbelievable. And I
Well,
felt this once I started having more clients.
yeah, I think my thinking is, as I've gotten further along with this, is it's like people don't understand like there's a qualitative difference. Like you could both have two people doing the same thing on the surface level, but if one's qualitatively doing it differently than the other,
Yeah,
this person can get all the results and this other person won't see any because often it's binary. It's like if you don't do it well enough, you get nothing. If you do it well
yeah.
enough, you get a lot. And
Which, yeah,
so
right.
they think they see other people doing the same thing. They think they're doing it too, and then they say it's not working for me for some reason, and then they go and try something else. But then that other thing they're trying is like they just made it up and they just burned or whatever. So it's yeah, it's a really interesting part of the human
No, it is. It
psyche.
is. It is, and the cool thing about cool. I don't know if that's cool or not. When you're a coach, you want them to succeed, right? I apologize. You want them to succeed, and you almost you fall into the trap of kind of taking responsibility of the fact that your clients are having results. But then when you face your clients, let's break it down to the small things, right? The task, break down to what the puzzle is. You'll notice that there's many key things missing. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, and that explains why you're not having the results.
Yep.
And then you look at those numbers and the metrics, and you the little steps. Missing one step, the entire machine is broken.
Breaks down. Yeah.
It's so unbelievable that I was able to understand that working with people. How come
Yep.
someone breaks through fast and the other one 2 months later? It's kind of still figuring out what's the thing, right?
It's like
And
whenever
then,
you're learning something new, it's like you have to put so much focus into it to learn it, and you have to get all those different pieces in place so it flows through. But then once you've done it enough, it kind of becomes like unconscious mastery. And then those people are just like doing it intuitively. And
yeah,
so if you see someone doing it intuitively and you're like, why is it so easy for them?
yeah,
Why is it not working for me? It's this disconnect, but you don't realize that that person went through those couple of weeks or days or
yeah,
whatever time of like very conscious focus to
right,
find the flow, to find the process so that they could do things
right,
instinctually, habitually, and get the results,
100%.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this is why the mindset piece of all what we do is so important. So it's like I think we all need to strive more and more as we grow, as we build our service to not just be um, like to try to take more and more responsibility for the client, even when they're having these mindset issues, and provide the guardrails, the cushion, the support to help them
Correct.
prevent them from falling into that. Because I find that like sometimes if somebody just falls in and they just give themselves a little bit of breathing room to tell themselves these kind of thoughts that are unhelpful, it can spiral and get worse. But if we
Yep,
can the sooner you catch it, the easier it
yep,
is
yep.
for them to get back on the straight and narrow.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Anyway, anything else just on like the last month or so? Any wins or insights?
No, I have a couple of things being cooked.
Yeah,
I
what's
said
what's
this.
coming up?
I said this in the last interview. No, I mean we have 2 more months, right, for this year. I have my main goal, honestly, is I want to shift. I want to shift my business into a platform online, and go into more like in a group version. And I will speak with my coach. What's the right steps and structure? Because the next 2 months, 60 days is a lot of time. I mean, it's a lot of time. you can drastically change your life in 60 days within this industry. So towards the end of the year, I really want to acquire a couple of more, let's say a couple of more of clients in, and truly have that proof of concept ready for more like a group version within a membership platform. Follow me? So that's why that day I asked you about, the Facebook group. I gave it, so I'm kind of slowly building this up, but I really need to feel that my proof of concept is at that level that I can just create a content and then manage the thing, more like to a group instead of a one-on-one. So the more clients, not really based on revenue needed for that step, is more people I'm dealing with to make sure my structure is perfectly done than to transport to a group.
Yeah,
So
the way
that's
I
the
would say it, it's about you want to really, really validate your service delivery.
Yeah.
That your formula is consistent
Correct.
and working. It's not about hitting a certain revenue goal before moving to that model. Yeah. I love it, man. I think that's a great goal. And yeah, I'm looking forward to supporting you in that. That'll be great.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you.
So Philippe, let me ask you this. Like, would you recommend others work with me?
100%. I mean, listen, I said this in the other interview, and I've said this again. Someone that, like I said, someone that does not really know what to do, but is really serious about becoming a successful coach or a successful consultant, but doesn't know what to do. I think the way you teach right now in the market, putting all the variables in the equation to make a decision, right? I think what you do, because I'm still involved in the community, I see the new people coming in, I see you doing the, all the calls and all of that, and the follow up within the group and all of that stuff. So it's already almost what are we longer? Maybe 2 months, 8-9 weeks, whatever the time is. I've known you. You kept exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got more clients in because I see, and you kept the exact same. And the funny thing is, maybe I should not share this. I saw your screenshot of your calendar the other day, right? To schedule for this call. And the cool thing, I saw different names in your calendar, which I know that you giving that, close access and support to make sure that those that maybe need a bit more here, a bit more there, have what they need in order to succeed. So just confirm, because that was needed for me. So just confirm that, yes, man. I mean, anyone that doesn't know what to do, is really serious about becoming a successful coaching consultant, and does not really take that much time. It's actually a short period of time. Yeah, you are the guy to speak to.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. It's really means a lot coming from you. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad it's been helpful. So, like, why should someone who's listening take action right now?
I went from zero, not zero, a pile of debt, really, to from when I met you to the first 30 days. I got $3,500, whatever it was the number, and then I knew that point that my life changed forever. So that you expand those days to less than 90 days, you're talking about $25,000. Now, if I thought that first month of working together, I thought my life would change forever. Now, that is not a problem anymore. Bills not a problem anymore. Now what I'm looking at is to expand myself. We move from a money type of thinking, to a self-growth type of thinking in very short period of time. So if I delay my decision 30 days, maybe I delay a breakthrough for 30 days. Do you understand this? If I delay my decision for 90 days, I'm speaking from my own case. So if I delay my decision for 90 days, I would have told you, say, let's do this. Let's wait for the end of the year, see how things go, whatever, and then start fresh the new year. Imagine, I could have said this to you. And in the new year, I'll be maybe with more debt than I was 3 months ago, right? And without even close to my perspective in terms of what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the revenue. I'm looking for the expansion as myself as a coach coach internationally. So in such a short period of time, you can literally and it ridiculously change your life. So if or when this person, as you just said, if watching you or is kind of thinking or kind of back there moving yes or no, if they see that you have the value, knowledge, which you do, and the structure in place to help them, and true, if they are really truly committed, man, there's no reason not to act, because 60 days end of the year is 60 days, man. My 60 days, I break through 10 grand. And I went through 4.5 years of struggle and just putting money and time, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's, I love it, man. It's like pre getting this business off the ground, your life is totally different. Post getting the business off the ground, it's like you're more thinking less kind of scarcity mindset, less worried about money, more about your vision, self-development, self-actualization, how much you can do and have fun.
Right.
Like business, like once you like hit a baseline success in business, for different people, different places, it's a different number, 5K a month, 10K a month, whatever that number is. After that, it kind of becomes like a game.
Yeah.
And you're just like playing this game, and it's a really fun game.
It's a fun thing, yeah. It really is. You just kind of challenge yourself now, and revenue is always a consequence of what you do, right? But you challenge yourself now. How can I now instead of having 10 people, how can I have 100? How can I have 1,000? How can I go everywhere? Those type of thinking process start happening, and then it's cool. But like key thing here is it does not take time. It does not take time, and this is so powerful. So 30 days, if you delay 30 days, you make a massive mistake. If you're serious about your business, right? If you delay 30 days, or if you delay 60 days, or if you delay 90 days, people take 90 days as just granted. 90 days, what is that? Like 3 months is nothing. No, it's a law. It's ridiculously a lot of time.
Yeah, 90 days. Like, I mean, if you had waited 90 days, who knows? Maybe you would have just been like, hey, I'm going to put this down, not even try anymore. Yeah. Or like, you just never know where your mind will go.
You're right. So like I said, no, there's no reason really to wait. Find a way and find a way somehow and just truly put in the work and trust things will happen, because they will happen. Find a way. It was the same with me. Remember, I kind of found a way. I didn't have the funds. I just found a way. That's
awesome. So, Filipe, this has been so great, man. I'm really enjoying chatting with you. I can't wait to see what you do in the next 60 days. It's going to be awesome. What's your number one piece of advice for coaches and consultants right now?
So if I'm in a position of service and truly help others as my main number one goal, and if I have someone that has been there, gone through the process and won, and I'm now hiring this person to help me take me through, now all I have to do is believe and just focus on the now moment and the now task. And the most important thing is just to honestly have fun doing it. Just honestly have fun. Put music on. And at the end of the day, you are comfortable in your house or office, whatever, but most probably in the house with a nice computer, and it's just working. It can be 8-10 hours, still is not working hard, because you're still relaxed. You take a coffee, right? You can just have a break. You can do whatever you want. So have fun doing it. Understand that, that process has to happen. You have to learn the skill. You have to be guided, because it's how we all win in life. But at the end of the day, trust the process. Really try to help people. Forget about the revenue. Try to help people. Trust the process with your coach, and have fun as the foundation, and have fun.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. It's like, if you're focusing on the right activities, and then you just take that mindset of like, I'm just gonna have fun with this, you're gonna be more relaxed. You're not gonna be stressed. You're not gonna worry. It's gonna translate into you actually improving at that task and getting the quality of the task will go up, and then it will work, and then the revenue will catch up to you. It'll 100%. Follow right behind.
And the cool thing is that if you actually do that, the entire industry is stressed, isn't it? Like the entire industry is stressed, and they're struggling, and they're like this and kind of thing. So when you are nice and relaxed and say, hey, okay, so what exactly would you need? What's going on? and you're actually honestly relaxed and having fun, the people you interact with socially online, they will notice that thing, and they want that. So now naturally attracting them. So that's my main focus now, and my main advice to your
I love it.
question.
I love it, man. That's great. Well, Philippe, thank you again so much, man. If people want to learn more about you, where can they find out more about you online?
My website is goncalvesconsulting.com. That's Goncalves as my last name's Goncalves, consulting.com altogether. And that would be the easiest way, or on Facebook. But yeah, that
Perfect.
would be the website.
All right, cool. Well, Philippe, thank you so much, man. It's been great chatting with you.
Thank you very much, Harry. Pleasure, man. And you keep doing that great work.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. Peace. Bye.